Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Today we're going to solve another quiz question with the swap nodes in pairs. So basically, this question is quite awesome. But the question is saying, let's just look at over here, saying like, given a linked list, swap every two adjacent nodes and return its head. You must solve the problem without modifying the value. So like in the first instance, even I'm thinking like, what if I just simply swap their value? Then it will be very easier for us. But they just say like we don't have to do it like without modifying the values. We have to only swap the nodes. So for that I did think okay, that's not the approach like with which I can go. So I have to change my approach. So ladies and gentlemen, I come with another solution. So let's start solving with another approach. Okay, so let me just take this one to my whiteboard and I will explain you over there with a very quite simple way, in a very simple and easiest way. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so what I will do first of all, like I will suggest you before solving any portion of linked list, if we have to deal with the nodes over there, then I will suggest you to create a dummy node. Okay, so dummy node with any value or like with any value like 0, -1, whatever you want to put. So I used to prefer with 0, so I put 0 over here, and my dummy node is pointing to my head. So this is my head over here. Okay, and let me call it as a start. This is my start. Okay, and my I create two pointers, one my previous pointer and my current pointer. So my current pointer is on my head and my previous pointer on my dummy node. Okay, all right. So what I will do, I have to swap this over here. My 2 will come over here. So for that, what can I do? What if I say my previous dot next will point to my current dot next, So what will happen? We just simply skip this one. And it's pointing like this. It's pointing something like this to my dummy node is pointing to my new head. So let me call it new head. So this is my new head. Okay. Alright. So now you will say, okay, we understand this thing, but what happens to 1? So where the 1 will point? I will say, okay, the 1 will point. What the 1 is a current. So my current dot next will point my current dot next. So what will happen? It start pointing to 3 over here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look carefully, then because we have to swap it. So what in what form we do? First 2 will come, then 1 will come, then we have 3, 4. So we will deal with this thing later on. Okay. All right. So my 1 will point over here on the 3. Okay. Now again you will say, all right, but still you are doing some mistake. Now you will say, what the mistake I'm doing? So the mistake is like, where the 2 has to come over here. I will say, listen, my previous dot next. This is my previous dot next to current dot next. I can write it even like this. My previous dot next will become my current. Over here. So it will come over here. Okay. And finally, I have to update my current. Why update the current? Because now my current is over here. Now my current has to work with 3 on 4. Okay. So my current will go over here. I have to say current equals to current dot next, and I have to update my previous as well, because now my previous will go on the 4. What we did with the 2, similarly we will do for the 4 as well. My previous will point previous dot next. So ladies and gentlemen, that's how we gonna solve this question. So I hope so that approach is a little bit clear. If still not, don't worry. Let me just start solving this question, so you will gonna understand like what I'm doing over here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my first job is to create a dummy list. Okay, so I will say list node. Let me call it start new list node. Okay, and let me give a value of 0. Okay, my start dot next is pointing to my head. Okay, it's not pointing to my head as I told you over there. And my list node previous, where is pointing? My list node previous is pointing to my start. Okay, and my list node current is pointing to where? Head. I hope so you remember these things. If you still know, then don't worry, I will show you right now. Okay, so as we look at over here, my previous is on with my start, and my current is with my head over here. Okay, all right. Okay, so now you will say like, okay, what I will do? I will run a while loop. And I will give some condition over here. We will discuss about the condition later on. Okay, now what I have to do? I have to point my previous dot next to current dot next. My previous dot next will point to my current dot next. Remember this thing I told you? Where is the pointer? Okay. Remember, it's like my previous is the dummy node. So my previous will point over here, as I told you over there. It's point like this. Okay. And what else? My current dot next will point to my current dot next. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope so this thing is very well clear. Okay. Alright. Now you will say, like, I told you like now I have to update my previous position. So my previous will come over here on the current, because this is my new head. This is my new head. So for that, what I have to do, I will say my previous dot next dot next is my current, okay, and I have to update my current, so my current will be current dot next, because like for the we have to deal with 3 and 4 as well, and my previous will be previous dot next dot next. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all our code is. Okay, now you say what the while condition, what the condition we have to give so that it can run. Okay, the condition we can give, if my current reaches null, if my current reaches null and my current dot next is null, if any of them condition will become true, if any of the condition will become true, I will simply exit out of this loop. I will simply exit out of this loop. So let me just write it over here. My current node equals to null and my current dot next node equals to null. Okay, so I hope so this thing is very clear. Okay, fine. So now finally what I have to do, I have to simply return it. So I will simply return my start dot next, because I told you I'm dealing with dummy over here, so I have to forgot my dummy. So I just by mistake so it will be my start dot next, because like I have to ignore my dummy. So ladies and gentlemen, that's all the code. Let me just run it and I will tell you the runtime complexity and all that. So let's see, it's accepting all the test, all the code and compilation error. Do we see? No, it's accepting error. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, finally, let me submit and see all the test cases are accepting or not. Alright, so okay, it's getting a time. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, it's go accepting 100%. So time complexity in this one, we are dealing with big of n. Why big of n? Because we are traversing n number of nodes and we have to swap it. Okay. And the space complexity in this one, we are dealing with big of 1. Why big of 1? Because we are not using any extra space, we are not consuming any extra memory. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, that's all the code is. I hope so this code is crystal clear to you, like how we are, what we are doing over here. And I just want to say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. If you still have, and I will suggest you to watch this video again, because this, like, I try my best to explain everything in the video, because that's all the code. It's quite simple to do. And if you still have any doubt, just do let me know in the comment section. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Till then, take care, bye bye, and I love you guys. Take care, bye bye.